Greetings comrades and welcome to the new video. Today we'll be preparing gyros or gyro or gyros. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Everyone is pronouncing it differently. Here in Bulgaria we say gyros with this tough g, gyros. We typically have this problem with our accent when we speak foreign languages. Our like r and g are very strong. With that aside, we are preparing gyros today. And typically gyros are totally Greek thing, but here in Bulgaria we have it all around, like a fast food. Basically we have doner kebab and gyros everywhere, especially in the big cities like Plovdiv and Sofia and Varna maybe. There are so many fast foods where you can get this food, and everyone are making it different. So today I will show you how I prepare it, and I hope you like it. We'll make it totally from scratch. We'll prepare the pita bread, we'll prepare tzatziki, we'll prepare tomato cucumber salad, we'll have a very nice marinated chicken. And I'll try to represent how if you go and eat outside here as a street food in Bulgaria, how they serve it here. Typically some places serve it with fries, some don't, but I don't eat it with fries either way, so you won't see any fries today. But if you're a fan, you can also prepare fries as a topping and add them to the gyros. The recipe was quite time consuming for me to prepare because there were a lot of components. Maybe the only thing you can skip is you can get your pita bread directly from the store and save some time, or get some ready tzatziki. But I mean, prepare it on your own. It's easy and it's way better to prepare it at home, and you can prepare it how you like it. For example, I like the seeds in my cucumbers and I like them cubed, not grated, so I can adjust that. The traditional tzatziki, as I know, removes the seeds and the excess water from the cucumber, and they grate the cucumber, but I don't enjoy that. With that said, let's see how gyros gyro is prepared. I'll say this too many times today in the video, but that's life. Now let's start cooking. And if some Greeks are watching, please don't kill me. I know you have your ways, but this is just my way, so please don't be mad. Okay, let's start with our gyros, gyro, whatever you call it. We start with a lemon. I'll split it in half and we'll use it to marinate our chicken. Another thing, as I'm speaking of marinating chicken, is to peel a ton of garlic, which again we'll use to marinate the chicken. You can go with garlic flakes, but to be honest, with fresh garlic it's tastier. Put it in a bowl, add some salt as an abrasive, and just mash it with something. My mortar and pestle, I have only the pestle, I guess, because the other part, the bowl, it broke for some reason. After that, remove the juice from a lemon after you mash the garlic, and we are on a good way to go with marinating our chicken. I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Typically you can remove excess fat if you want, but I won't do that because it's tasty. Add some salt. I add some vinegar, like a little bit for acidity, and the lemon also for taste and acidity. It will make the meat more tender. I add some oregano, and I add the mashed garlic on top of the meat. Here I would add 3 to 4 spoons of yogurt, so we can cover the chicken. The yogurt would also make the chicken tender and tastier. I will just add it into a container and add it into the fridge where it can rest. Meanwhile, if you have excess lemon juice, prepare a lemonade, add in some of the lemon juice, a spoonful of honey, mix it into the lemon, or some more honey. I mean, a little bit more honey doesn't hurt, and add some sparkling water on top, and here you have Fanta lemon, but homemade version, which is way better, I guess. Top with some ice cubes, and you have a very nice idea for a summer drink or a drink as a whole, which you can serve your gyros with. Gyros. I have around 210 grams of flour here, some salt and some dried yeast already mixed into the bowl, and I will just mix everything so it can get incorporated. The flour, we will add more flour, but first I need to test whether we will need more flour. I add 380 grams of water and some olive oil, and basically we need to form a ball of dough, but it was way sticky, and I start adding some flour from time to time until it gets absorbed and the ball of dough is not sticky anymore. I added around 60 to 70 grams more flour because it was very sticky. I transfer it into the working surface and make a ball out of the dough. I add it into the plastic container, cover it with some foil so it won't get hard on top. It should stay here to leaven for like 30 to 40 minutes in a warm place. You see here it's almost doubled its size, so I would again just work it a little bit and just leave it to leaven for a second time. It would take around 20 to 30 minutes more, but again just work it a little bit and form it into a ball again. After 20 to 30 minutes the dough should be good to go. See, it again doubled its size. Flour your surface and put the dough on the surface. Split it into 4 equal sized pieces and form every piece into something like a bow, I should say, or it can be a random shape, but a bow would be the most useful shape for us, so we can roll it into a pita bread. Speaking of rolling, we should start rolling our dough into pita bread while our pan is heating. Like, it should be very well heated, our pan, so it can start cooking the pita right away. It should take around a minute to minute and 10 to 20 seconds per side, so the pita can develop some nice colors, and if we are lucky enough we will get that symbolic pita pocket, which in my opinion is useless most of the time. Once your bread is ready, just put it into some towel or some cloth so it can get steamed and it can remain soft. And basically repeat the process until you have a nice amount of pitas, 4 to be precise with the measurements given, and keep them all into the cloth so they can remain very soft. After that we'll start preparing some vegetables for the gyros or gyro, whatever you call it again. First we start with the water container of the vegetable kingdom, the cucumber. I'm not sure if it's a vegetable or a fruit. This is a topic for another discussion, but basically we will prepare some version of tzatziki. And in order to prepare that, I'll just cut a cucumber into small cubes. Typically they remove the excess water and grate the cucumber, but in my opinion, sorry Greeks, I know you know your ways, but I have my ways and I prefer it like cubed without removing the seeds or removing the water. In my opinion, it tastes way better. And I have an idiotic t-shirt with a squirrel which says "Don't touch my nuts." See, it's quite old. I use it for cooking or for staying at home mostly. With that aside, our cucumber should be ready and we transfer it into a glass container, or any container would work, to be honest. And here I like to first season my cucumber with some salt. I add some dill, I add some garlic flakes, and I'll add some olive oil and some lime. Typically you can go with lemon here, but in that case I was out of lemons because we prepared the lemonade, so I would just add the lime because I had lime. And we should finish with some thick yogurt. Like, typically you can find yogurt where the water is removed from it and use it instead, but I use Cur, this Icelandic yogurt, which naturally is thicker and has higher amount of protein, which works for me, and I'll just use it to prepare the tzatziki and leave it in the fridge where it can take a nice rest before we finish up our gyros or gyro or gyros. After that we prepare tomato cucumber salad, as they call it. I call it simply shopska salad without cheese. We cube some tomatoes like into cubes, and some cucumbers into cubes, and some onion into half moon shapes. I prefer the red onion here. Typically they remove the seeds here again, but I'm not a fan. I would leave the seeds because I like some moisture in my gyros. For street food gyros, I understand, remove the seeds, but if you prepare it at home, just stick to the seeds of the tomatoes and the cucumbers. Sprinkle some parsley on top, some salt and some olive oil, and time to prepare our chicken. And the chicken we should heat like a pan to be very hot, steaming hot, and add the chicken thighs on top. And chicken thighs are basically idiot proof because you can cook them for a ton of time and they would remain juicy. And we have the bonus points that they're marinated with lemon, they have some additional acidity from the vinegar, and we have some yogurt, which makes every piece of the marinade I described just makes the chicken to be way juicier and tender. And here we aim to develop some nice colors on both sides. The yogurt helps for that, and the chicken is done. Another way you can do it, if you don't want to go with some marinades, just get some boneless, skinless chicken thighs, put some salt and pepper on top, and go over the barbecue or the grill. It should work also. It's not as good as the yogurt chicken, but this would also work for such type of sandwich, I should say. And now we are ready to assemble. First, I would cut my freshly baked chicken and see how juicy it is. After that, we take a nice pita bread. I would add some tzatziki as a base. On top, I would add the chicken, of course, and on top I'll add from the salad. And here you should be careful not to overstuff your pita bread, which I again did and couldn't draw it. But if you add a little bit less chicken, tzatziki and salad, you should be okay, because in that way you see it right now. It was quite a mess to eat, to be honest, but man, it was very good. It was way better than the street versions. The Slav difficulty level for that is 5 out of 5 because you have a ton of things to prepare at home, but it's totally worth it. If you get your pita bread from the grocery, it's maybe 3 out of 5. And here is another way if you don't want to get messy. We call it a portion of gyros, porție döner, which is basically a portion served. Typically, if you get it from the fast food, typically it is served in a box and everything has its compartments where it is stored, the veggies, the tzatziki, the chicken. But as I am at home, I would just add everything into a plate. I add some additional condiment known as kjöpul. We have it on the channel, and I would just tear apart my bread so I can use it to get from my sauces. And yeah, that's it. And this was all from me for today, comrades. I hope you enjoyed this gyros recipe. And this is how we eat it in Bulgaria as a street food. There's a ton of other sauces and condiments which I didn't prepare, but this is, I guess, the way we eat it. With that said, Slav you next time and eat some gyros.